Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. We're about to begin a two-shot scenario set in the modern-day city of Cleveland, Ohio. The scenario is entitled Ladybug, Ladybug, Fly Away Home. It was written by Jeffrey Molar and is part of a collection, The Things We Leave Behind. Our GM for this game is Jerry Bryant. Well, with that out of the way, I can see that the players are ready. Let's begin our journey into the darkness. Jerry?
Hello, everybody. Like Tom said, this is the modern setting, 2017. This is Cleveland, Ohio. You're at the police station, about to hear what the lieutenant has to say about a current crime going on. So take it away, Tom.
All right, listen up, folks. Regina Balfour, a 5-year-old Caucasian female, was abducted at 6:30 p.m. earlier today while in the company of her mother, Sarah Balfour. The abduction took place in a big box retail store while Regina was sitting in a shopping cart. Her mother was standing only 3 feet away with her back momentarily turned. Now, for those of you who haven't noticed already, we'll be working with a couple of private investigators for this job. First up, Mr. Eric Anderson. He was instrumental last year in solving that Bronson case, the one with the conjoined twins. He's been reviewing the security footage. Mr. Anderson, please.
Yeah, so the abduction was caught on videotape. Video shows a large, older Caucasian male wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses walk brazenly with purpose up to a woman and her child who is sitting in a shopping cart. He tasers the mother, Sarah Balfour, with a concealed stun gun. He takes the girl, Regina, out of the cart and quickly walks away. He momentarily leaves the camera range, but then returns, still carrying the girl, and attempts to retrieve the child's backpack, which is made to resemble a ladybug. Sarah Balfour, still partially incapacitated, attempts to stop the man, grabs the ladybug backpack. They have a momentary tug-of-war between them. The abductor then kicks Sarah in the face, but lets the backpack go. Bystanders attempt to intervene, and the abductor makes a run for the door. 10 seconds later, a security guard is seen running through the frame in pursuit. A second security camera shows the store's uniformed greeter try to block the abductor from escaping, but gets knocked down. Regina is thrown, kicking and screaming, into the back of a tan, late-model Ford Taurus, which then speeds away, leaving the abductor behind. The abductor then pulls out a gun and returns to the store. He shoots the greeter in the kneecap. He can be seen on several cameras just wandering the store, toppling over a number of displays. Shoppers then stampede toward the exit. About 30 minutes later, the SWAT team arrives wearing their body armor. When the abductor sees the police, he promptly shoots himself in the head. Thank you.
So, Officer Johnson, what's the situation with the parents?
I took a look at the parents. I spoke with them personally. The mother was extremely distraught. Understandably, her husband, John Balfour, are frantic about their missing child. They're currently at the police station being questioned by my fellows, and they didn't know the abductor at all. They have no idea why that this person would have taken their child. As far as I know, they have no enemies, no problems with anyone in the neighborhood, nobody who would have been stalking them.
Well, from what I understand, Officer Helmsley, you've got some information on the family, don't you?
That I do.
Sure.
Got some information here. The Balfours on the FBI Radicals Domestic Terrorist Watch list. If you can believe that. They are leaders of a fringe religious movement known as the Church of the Passover Angel. No doubt talking about the angel that came down to kill the firstborn in Exodus, eh? Their website is highly critical of the U.S. government. They call it the head of the false serpent. We can believe that. They advocate for a non-violent overthrow of the government, and they want to replace it with a fundamental theocracy following only God's law and that of his herald, the Passover angel. They've been suspected, the Balfours anyway, of stockpiling illegal firearms, including machine guns and detonation devices, and there have been a number of attempts by the ATF, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division. They've tried to investigate these accusations, turned up nothing. And the church's website is openly commenting on things such as this ongoing persecution, if you would, of their church, saying that when the time is right, God and his Passover angel will smite the wicked in Washington, as he did in Egypt, and with boils and blood, frogs and locusts, all that kind of crap.
Holy crap. So they're religious fanatics.
Indeed they are.
We also have with us today Mr. Ryan Steele. He was part of the department a number of years ago. You might all remember him. He managed almost single-handedly to apprehend Bobo the Killer Clown. What forensics have you got for the Mr. Steele?
Okay, we have hi there, gentlemen and ladies. We have a number of bits of information come through in the last few hours, even. So about the abductor. So some of the things tie in with what's already been said. Although he was not carrying any identification when he made the abduction, he's already been identified. So we've got a name for the guy. It's George Lewiston. He was identified shortly because of the video footage that was broadcast. And interestingly, a little connection, officials at the ATF recognized him as a retired ATF officer. He had a lot of experience in investigating suspected domestic terrorist groups, which I think we can see the connections there with the family. And he has no connections to any investigation of the Church of the Passover Angel at all. And some strange ones, people. His hair had been recently dyed. He wore a fake mustache, believe it or not. And forensics show that his fingerprints had been removed by acid. So there's some serious stuff going on here.
That's
all I've got.
He sounds like a real freak to me.
It sounds definitely extreme there.
Well, gentlemen, officers, let's get this solved. We've got a little girl out there somewhere. Hopefully she's still, as far as we know, she's still fine. We just need to get a hold of her. So we need to get her back.
The police captain says, very good. I appreciate your hard work. I know you'll work diligently on this case. I'm assigning you everything you need. However, he pulls over two officers in back that, you know them around the police squad as the not so bright ones. And he goes, I've got a special mission for you two. I want you to go investigate what is going on at the lake. This is Lake Erie he's talking about. This is Cleveland, Ohio, just so we know. He goes, it's been in the news, and, this is no secret, that the waters of Lake Erie have turned blood red, along with any tributaries and rivers. And he wants that investigated. And he goes, I'll get to work.
Sounds like a biblical plague to me.
I know there's algae that turns things blood red. You sure it's not just that?
I think that's mostly salt water.
Well,
either way, the fact that this has got to do with the Church
nasty.
of the Passover Angel and all the Exodus type stuff.
That's enough to make them go.
Well, I'm certainly not discounting it. I'm just thinking maybe there could be something more rational than it being a curse of Egypt or whatever.
The rest of you don't worry about it. You got a child to find. She's got mere days before she's going to die if she does not receive her medicine.
Right, yes, sir.
Understandable.
You said that. Okay, there's some weird things about this case. This person, Mr. Lewiston, Lewiston, picked her up out of the cart and ultimately handed her off to somebody in a car who drove off.
Yeah, did we get the license plate on the video of that car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did not.
Well, we got the make and model, maybe?
Yeah, you get to make a model.
The late model Taurus tan.
Okay.
10 Ford Taurus. Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard to find.
Did we put out an APB?
Yes, you did.
Okay. But then he turned around and came back into the store and started shooting people.
And then shot himself, right?
He shot himself.
Do we have any video of that car arriving? Did those two arrive together? Like, how long has that Taurus been there?
There's no video of them arriving together. The only video where the car is seen is at the handoff. Other than that, there's no. It's just like he just pulled up. The guy threw her in the back of the car sped off, and he came back in the store.
Okay.
He also went back for the.
Yeah, he went back to the Ladybug backpack.
Did he actually get the Ladybug backpack?
No, he did not.
Do we have the Ladybug backpack?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Or
I think we should search through it then.
The parents do. I mean, I can tell you what's in it. There is intravenous pump in it, full of her medication. She has acute disease, various acute diseases, and if she doesn't have her pump that pumps steroids into her body, she can't breathe.
Oh wow! So we need to find her immediately.
She's very, very sick.
Okay.
We definitely need to find her then. We don't want her having this severe kickback, and then who knows what will happen then.
It makes me wonder now. Okay, we've got a strong lead here because the guy went back for the backpack. He knew.
He needed that girl alive. He wasn't trying to kill the girl.
He knew that she had that disease, that she needed the backpack. Therefore, there's a connection between him and the family somehow, or at least the people in the car. The people in the car may have a connection to the family.
Well, perhaps the kidnapper was stalking them for some time.
Well, when you want to have a hostage, you don't do harm to her. You have to keep her well and keep her safe. Otherwise, what's the point of getting a ransom then?
But this was a clear, calculated attack. I mean...
If you want, you can talk to the parents. They're still in the police station.
I was just...
Yes. Yeah, we need to.
We need to talk to them.
Have we sent anyone over to this Lewiston's apartment or house, see if there's anything there yet?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
A couple of you need to talk to the parents. Remember that in cases like this, a lot of times the parents are to blame. There's something going on.
They are usually the first to be suspect,
and they're part of some sort of religious cult. Make sure that they're, if they're having marital problems, the father may have kidnapped the kid. Who knows?
Does this cult have like a church location?
Yes, there is a church location. It's located on the Upper West Side.
Is it a church or is it just a storefront or a... It's
like they have a house. They have a small house there, and it's located on the property with the house. It's a very small church.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, somebody needs to follow up on that. See what they can find out that's going on at the house.
I agree.
Well, you know how I feel about cults and stuff like that. I'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah.
All right. I suppose I'll speak with the parents then.
I'd like to check out Lewiston's residence first.
I think I'll go with you on that one. I'd like to see that too.
I'll accompany Braun, and we can check out the church then.
Okay.
Just as a note, I'll give you without even making an idea roll. And that is the two private investigators in this are begrudgingly included in a case. They have no say in the case or no legal representation. So they are basically just tagging along.
I'm
Gotcha.
sorry. I don't understand what you just said. Did you? Who are we talking about? The private investigators?
Yeah, the private investigators.
Okay, you're talking about these two right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Except that they have incredible expertise. I mean, Bubble the Clown.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're
Molar.
not official police officers.
Well, no, but they've got us with them. They know how to use a gun.
At least I hope.
And,
Yes, 70%, brother.
let's not.
I'm
forget
willing to
the
trust
resident
their.
police.
I am willing to trust their expertise, Lieutenant, but they are not the ones who are in charge of this case.
No.
We are the ones in charge of this case.
Actually, we are not in charge of this case. I'm more in charge of it than anybody else. I'm a lieutenant.
Exactly.
Yeah. Liberty,
uh,
Lieutenant.
But
Sorry.
even I'm not really in charge of it. The upper echelon's in charge of it.
The
Yes,
actual
matter
person
is what I meant.
the actual person in
Let's-
charge of this case is
let's-
Lucy Bates. She's an FBI agent for Missing and Exploited Children's Task Force.
Right.
She's the one you will be answering to.
Let's all cooperate and do this in the spirit of cooperation. Protect one another, everybody.
Exactly.
Right, jolly
good.
cooperation. Got it.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, let's go
Yeah.
first. Let's go first to the parents then. The
All
parents
right.
are right here in the station. They're sitting out in the waiting room. The woman has a big black eye, and she's crying uncontrollably. And the husband is comforting her, and when they see you, they jump up expectantly. It's like, is there any news? Is there any news?
Well, I'm afraid that's what I came out to ask you about. We're hoping to see if we can get any more information.
I don't know what more we can tell you. I mean, we've told you everything we know, and there's the video cameras. We just want our little daughter back.
I understand.
She's sick. She needs her meds.
I understand. I have 2 children myself. I know how difficult this is for you. But we have a potential lead involving a certain church. Do you know anything about the Church of the Passover Angel by any chance?
Well, I'm the pastor of the church. What's wrong with my church? What does this have to do with anything?
Well, we had some suspicions that the person who took your child was potentially kidnapped by one of your parishioners.
I can't see that as being possible. We know all these people. They're good friends of ours. They wouldn't do anything like this. They're not that kind. We're God-fearing people.
I understand, and I am not accusing you of anything or assuming anything about you, sir. I'm mostly concerned about the child and her well-being. We just simply had a connection there, and I was seeing if I could find any further leads.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I can't believe that it would be one of our people. And the woman's just crying unconsolably. She's in hysterics.
I'm gonna see if I can maybe find out anything about the. Maybe they saw the face of their attacker a little more clearly.
She just goes, it was a man in a hat with a mustache. And that's all I really know. It happened so fast. I don't even know why he would take her.
All right. Well, do you happen to know anybody who drives a tan Ford Taurus 10 later model?
Not that I know of.
All right. Your daughter, you mentioned your daughter was very ill. Precisely what is she ill with?
She suffers from a litany of chronic illnesses and must have her medicine. The most serious one is pulmonary obstruction. And her doctor put her on a steroid pump to keep her down. She will die without her medication in days.
Understandable. At this point, I'm really not sure, like, if I'm going to be able to get anything out of them in this hysterical state, and I've already made a bad impression. I mean, unless somebody wants to come Help
The
me out.
the pastor seems to be pretty calm. I mean, he's upset, obviously, but he's trying to control his wife, who is in hysterics. He's trying to be very calm and collected. And just so you know, they look like a middle-aged couple, very clean cut, well-dressed, you know, nothing fancy. They're not like diamonds and gold or nothing like that. They just look like a common middle-class family.
All right. So, I mean, obviously, these people, they don't seem like the type. I can tell right offhand, I have a gut feeling for these things, working so long in law enforcement. I can tell right offhand these people would not have set up their children for a kidnapping. Unless you want me to roll psych.
No,
Unless
well,
you
if you want to roll something, you're welcome to it.
Yeah, do you want me to roll psychology, maybe?
Sure.
Which I do make.
They appear to be a clean-cut, modern, urban family. He's a pastor of a church. They seem to be very hysterical and upset over their daughter being missing. You know, not only is she being kidnapped, which we know for a fact, but she's also very seriously ill.
And she's on the verge of possibly dying.
Yeah, right. I mean, she's going to die within a week if she doesn't have this medication.
All right. So I think the best thing for me to do at this point is to try to calm them down and convince them that we are doing all we can to find their daughter, and we're going to make sure she gets home safely.
Thank you. That's all we ask. We just want our sweet little darling returned to us.
Understandable. I think that's about all I have to say for right now.
Okay. Next, who is going to George's house?
That was me and
That was me and Lieutenant Cole.
yeah.
Okay. You get there relatively easy since you have directions. You get there and there's a crime squad going through the place.
Okay.
They've taken his computer and a cell phone, which have both been smashed by a sledgehammer. Other than that, they've really not done much in the house yet.
So we want to see if the electronics people can salvage the hard drive. Maybe he didn't manage to damage it completely. So we want to look around. What state is the house in, other than the fact that his
everything is immaculate. There's pictures on the mantle. There's a recliner TV. Everything looks out of place. It looks like his favorite place to sit is his chair, his recliner. It's a little worn. He's got stuff around his table over there. Then, of course, you've got the computer desk where you've got the smashed computer and the cell phone, which are going to be removed as evidence.
Let me go ahead and check the trash can. See if there's any notes or anything that got thrown away, and then check the cushions around that chair. See if there's just anything more than change.
Roll a spot hidden for me.
Regular success.
Okay, one of the things that you do notice as you're riding around his chair area, that sitting on the table right next to it is a book that is entitled it is entitled the Passover Angel, Church of the Passover Angel. It appears to be like a promotional kit, if you would call it that.
Is there anything inside of it? Any notes? Any passages circled or anything like that?
There's no external paper stuck in it or notes or anything. It will take you time to go down and read the entire thing because it's a pretty thick paperback, about 200 pages.
Okay.
I'm going to get one of the officers who's already here. Officer, any medications in the cabinet? Have you checked that already?
Just just some medicine for high blood pressure.
Nothing unusual or out of place.
No, the house looks immaculate, except for the smashed up computer.
I'm going to ask. Mr. Anderson. Does this strike you as kind of odd that when you looked at the videotape, did it seem to you like he was drugged? Like he was
he was acting pretty erratically. One thing I was thinking about though is we might want to ask the neighbors, see if anyone's been normally here, and see if we can find a photograph of him to show around. See if anyone at the church might recognize him if he's obviously got their paperwork.
It's also a good idea to. I'm thinking that he might have been about to investigate them, since it's the kind of people that he would investigate. I'm just thinking that it seems like if we look around here, the profile that we're looking at here doesn't match the profile of somebody who walks in and abducts a child and dyes his hair and puts on a fake mustache. But a good question is there any evidence here that he dyed his hair here?
No, you don't see any evidence.
So he may not have dyed his hair here at all. He might have been drugged and or brainwashed. It's an old-fashioned term, but somehow he was coerced.
Can we find out from the ATF if he was any of the investigators that looked into them? Because he had retired, correct? So was that one that he had worked before he retired?
Well, Braun had said that he hadn't done any work on the church. But maybe he was about to.
Well, so he was supposed to retire, so
we should
off time.
We should probably have a look at that document, but that's a whole hell of a lot of reading. It might be something I want to hopefully get this solved before the end of the day. You know, it's already late. If that happened at 6 o'clock, I assume it's probably about 9 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to just give the place a once over and see if there's anything that stands out, i.e. spot hidden.
No, make a spot hidden roll.
96. Yeah, that's a nice painting on the wall.
Your eyeball falls out.
Oh.
Let's see.
I needed that. Put it back in backwards. Oh no, I think it's upside down.
All right, so you done here?
I'd like to just ask to see if any of the neighbors have noticed anything around there.
Yeah, let's talk to the neighbors, see if he's been acting weird lately.
And one thing, since I'm not a uniformed officer, I'm just a dastardly handsome gentleman with a really high charm. I'd like to.
Well, on one side of his house, the neighbor doesn't know anything. She sees him come and go every so often, but I mean, she doesn't really talk to him. On the other side, this lady comes to the door in a house coat holding this cat. He goes, "Well, hello!"
Well, hello. Hi, ma'am. I just wanted to ask you a few questions about your neighbor, George Lewis.
Oh, sure. Mr. Lewison, he is a great guy.
Has he been having a lot of company lately or anything like that? You notice anything different?
No, he's not been having any company. He dyed his hair a couple of days ago. I thought that was kind of strange. But, you know, he's getting on. He wants to look his best.
A few days ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And is he normally by himself? Does he ever have any people over? Wednesday night poker or anything like that?
Oh, well, his sister comes over to see him sometime, but not much.
Oh, his sister.
He's out of town. He's out of town for a couple of days.
Did he say where he was going, man?
No, he didn't tell me where he was going. He brought his cat over and gave me some money to take care of his cat. The poor thing is terribly sick. And he gave me some money to take care of his cat. And then he said he had to go out of town and he'd be back in a week or two.
And when was this? How many days ago?
Yesterday.
Okay, so he's been gone for a day.
Okay.
Has he acted in any way?
She's got the cat in her arms. The cat's all messed up looking. The cat's hair sticking all out. The cat has huge sores and boils on his body.
Well,
you should take that to the vet.
yeah.
Oh, I know. Poor thing's got a skin condition.
I'm not petting the cat.
Can I don't know what I would roll for, but can I sort of, I'm looking at the cat. Does this look like something that cats get, or does this look really weird?
It looks really weird. You don't need to roll for that. It looks really weird. I mean, big, huge boils with pus coming out of them, and
like some sort of chemical got on the cat.
He burned his fingertips with acid.
Like a bubonic plague.
That's true. He burned off his fingerprints with acid.
Maybe the cat got into it, drank some.
Well, that would kill it.
I don't know. It looks like it's not doing that well right now.
But it could have spilled on it.
I remember old George used to talk to me all the time about going to this place downtown called Extravaganza, some kind of little hole-in-the-wall restaurant. I've never been there myself. I don't really like eggs. The cholesterol is bad for you,
Extravaganza, huh? At the egg place.
Was he a religious man?
Not that I know of.
Well, when was the last time you saw him? Yesterday?
Yes. Okay. He brought poor Key over to me.
I'm going to suggest you take that to an animal clinic and get that.
Oh, he has an appointment. He has an appointment for tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, okay. I'm out. I don't know what to do.
Well, I wonder if we should get. I don't know why, but I think maybe we should get the forensics to at least take a sample of.
See if the cat did anything. Well, yeah, sure.
What if he is? I'm saying this privately, not in front of the lady, but what if there was some sort of a virus? Oh my God, we're going back to the virus idea.
You and your viruses
that infected the cat, and that somehow it messed up his head. No, that doesn't make any sense because he was obviously in collaboration with somebody.
Yeah, he's got some sort of partner. I'm thinking the cat got into whatever he burned his fingertips off with, or maybe these drugs you're thinking they pumped into him. Who knows? It might be worth giving a blood test on it. That's a good idea.
All right. Well, I'm going to send one of the forensic guys over in a few minutes, ma'am, to take a sample of the cat's sore, so that we can perhaps identify what it might have.
Okay,
and we'll get back to you on that.
Well, that's easy to do. Ryan, what are you doing?
He's
Chan.
Completely silent.
Sorry, guys. Me and Brian are heading to the church, I believe. Is that right?
Oh.
Yes, we were.
Okay, so the church. Before you get to the church, I want to explain something. This is for everybody. Wherever you are, this is happening. Out of nowhere, suddenly there are thousands of little frogs everywhere. They're climbing out of the sewers. They're hopping out of the woods. It's almost as if they're falling from the sky. Little green frogs.
What on earth? I'm in a building!
Well, this is happening outside of the building. That's why I said where we are. Outside.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant it was in the building. I was saying,
No,
what?
you would see it out the doors.
No doubt you'd hear the thump, thump,
hell?
thump, thump, thump of frog bodies.
And, ribbit, ribbit, but...
I would think that the screams of people would be more of the clue.
That too.
They're fleeing that red water in the lake. That's all it is.
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion about something.
Well, we're talking biblical plagues. There's got to be some sort of tie-in with this church.
Yeah, something is...
No.
However,
it's the algae in the lake. The frogs are like freaking out. That's all it is.
It's been speculated the same thing, even in the biblical thing, that a red algae bloom in the river caused the frogs to leave the river and the fish to die, and then the flies come because of all the dead frogs, and it's a sort of a cascade effect.
Yeah.
Had the same thing happen at my house once with cockroaches.
Well,
we killed all the mice in our field, and we ended up with 1 million cockroaches the next year. Mice must have been eating the cockroaches.
So Eric and Braun, you pull up at the top of the house. I will explain to you what it looks like. The Balfour's house is a large suburban lot on the west side of Cleveland, in the upper middle class neighborhood. Although, and this is records that you would have had by then. Although the church's financial records reveal millions in annual donations, they also reflect that they only take a modest sum out for their house. Their house is not grand like you would think of an evangelist. It's just a modern day house, 2 stories.
So they're not
on a
greedy.
large plot of land.
Yeah.
And that's where they hold the church sermons, right?
You can see over the top of the house a little steeple.
Well, that's where we need to be, Steele.
Yep, let's go.
Let's get on over there.
So we clean off the frogs off the car, and we get to the place. Do you want to go have a case around the building? Go around the back, see the entryways and such like.
Yeah, we would need to check out the perimeter, make sure that there's any way in or out.
Yeah, so we have a good scout around first, Jerry, before we...
All right. The house is, like I said, the house is exactly what it appears to be, a 2-story split-level home. Nicely kept. The grass is mowed. It's a very nice, well-kept house, but it does not look extravagant like you would think a preacher's house would look. There's a door in the front and a door in the back, and then in the backyard, there's a big area parking lot, and there's a little building, a little church building, and then behind all of this there is like a big corpse of trees and bushes.
Okay, well, I want to check round about the trees and that, and maybe approach the church, Brun.
Yes, let's go ahead and get over to the church. I want to check this place out.
Okay, well, you go over to the church. It's exactly what I explained to you. There's simple little double doors in the front.
Are the doors locked?
Yes, they're locked.
Any windows that I can maybe peek through with my flashlight?
Yeah, there's windows.
All right,
You peek through them. It looks like it could fit maybe 50 people, 60 people if you're really tightly in together. Just pews and a little pulpit, and behind the pulpit is a big cross.
Looks like a standard Christian church there.
It doesn't sound too sinister at the moment. Could I maybe, I'm not sure what Brian would think about it, so could I maybe have a go at getting the door open accidentally with my lockpicks?
You can. Just keep in mind that you do not have a warrant, and there's nobody to let you in because they're still back at the police station.
Yeah.
You know what?
You're welcome to go with that. I'm just letting you know if you don't have a warrant.
Yeah. Hey,
They
Bron,
sti-
yeah,
Yeah.
would you
Good.
just hey, Bron, what do you think if we accidentally got into the church?
You know
You
what?
know.
How about I check out back, and if one of these doors accidentally opens, let me know, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
You go
I'll
and
head
check
out
round
back.
the trees. Okay. I have a go, Jeff, while he's having a look about.
Okay, you got lockpick?
Yep. And I failed. I failed.
Nope, the door is not open.
It doesn't open that door. I go and join Bron, having a look round the trees, having a scout round the ground in case there's anything.
Back of the church, the same. There
Yeah.
is windows. There is windows in the back. You could look in, but I mean, other than that, there's nothing. There's not a back door or anything like that.
Any windows open? No.
There's no windows open in this entire place.
Any indication there might be a basement?
No, there does not look like there'd be a basement to this building.
Hmm.
I mean, you could
Darn.
get city plans and look, but I mean, you don't. It doesn't look like the kind of a house that would have a basement to it.
Yeah, probably not, but it was a thought. Well, damn, Steele, I think we kind of...
And this is backed up against the corpse of woods, and you notice that it's like really heavily undergrown back here. Like real close. It looks like they have enough room to run a mower just around the outsides of the church, and the rest of it's just this overflowing corpse of vines and bushes and trees.
You want to take a look
There's
through
a
the...
jungle.
Want to look through the bushes there?
Yeah, I mean, if this guy had been surveilling them, then he may have been around that area watching the family or the church.
It's entirely
maybe
possible.
looking for any evidence of maybe somebody being around or somebody kind of hiding out round about the church area.
Make luck rolls.
Take a look. All right, here we go. Luck.
Yeah, 14.
And
Okay.
27 out of 40. Woo.
Okay, so you're walking around. Sorry, you're walking around back, and in the dark. I mean, I know you have flashlights, but in the dark, you almost trip over this lip, and you're trying to figure it out. It's huge, about 10 feet around, or no, I'm sorry, not about 10 feet, about 8 feet around. And it sticks up about a foot off the ground. Concrete lip.
Ah, shit. Where does that come from?
And you look down, and it's a hole with a ladder built into it.
Holy shit.
Down we go.
Yep, we're looking here. No need to warn for this.
There is a very heavy set door, like an iron door, down in the bottom of this, and it's locked.
Yeah, shit.
Can I try to open that again?
Can you maybe
Sure.
accidentally open this door too?
Just, I might just, yeah, success, 24.
So you creak, and the door opens. And it looks like a bomb shelter.
What
There's-
the hell?
You go in, and there's cots for 3 people. There is food storage, a chemical toilet, and a gun safe.
Oh, ho, ho.
Does it look like, as we go in, does it look like it's been lying for a long time, there's dust, or is there evidence of maybe...
No, it looks like people have kept it clean at least. You don't know,
Okay.
you can't tell if anybody's been down there, but it's not dusty.
Sure.
I think we found what the ATF couldn't find.
Yeah.
Let's check out that gun safe, see if there's any, illegal weaponry in there.
Yeah.
Well, the gun safe is firmly locked.
I'll just nudge up to it and...
I'll turn my
That's
back
gonna-
for a second.
It's going to take a difficult roll to open up a gun safe.
Okay.
Yeah, damn.
Now, do you know what that means?
It means I broke my lockpicks, I got a 97.
Oh, okay, yeah, you don't get it anyway. Just so you know, if I tell you it's difficult, if you look at your stats beside your skill, there's 2 slots. It's the first one up there, and if it's hard, that's the last one. All right, you can't get
it's
in.
a disaster.
Yeah, you can't get in.
Damn. But
Anything else you want to do?
we do have a bomb
Well,
shelter
to me,
here.
Brian, this to me is like a kind of end of the world scenario shelter. You know, they've got food, they've got guns, and they've got.
Well, you also know they have.
3 beds.
You also know from the report they have legal guns. You don't know if there's any illegal guns. That's what they were suspected of, but they do have legal guns.
Yeah, that's true, but I just wanted to check the gun safe, see if there was any illegal. But since we can't get it open, thanks to no, desperate gust of wind. Oh well.
And anything else? If we just scan round about under the beds, any books or items lying about.
Any foot lockers or anything like that?
There's no foot lockers. There's some like kids books down there, stuff like that. I mean, it's nothing incriminating by sure. I mean, it just looks like a typical bomb shelter that you would have stored. Where are you looking exactly?
Under the cots.
Yeah, under the beds, under the pillows, in case somebody's maybe put a book or something under there. And
nope.
No. Maybe move a couple of cabinets around, or move the gun safe maybe a little bit.
Gun safe weighs a lot.
Yeah, I know. I have one.
we're talking about in excess of 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Also, where the food storage is. Having a look around where the food storage is.
There's no food storage. There's no food storage.
Wait, there's a bomb shelter but no food storage. They only expected to be down here for a short time?
Their house is in the right behind them.
Yeah.
It's true, but if it's an end of the world scenario.
Each of you roll a spot hidden, and it needs to be a hard.
Oh boy. Here we go. Ha! 12.
Yeah, I got a hard. Yeah.
Okay. As you're looking around, you're up at the front door, and this is a solid door. I mean, it's bulletproof. You're not coming through this door unless they let you. It locks on the inside. And as you're looking around at this door, you notice all along the trim of the door, there's all kinds of little bitty funny sigils and symbols and stuff painted around the door.
What the hell? I do know some occult. I can maybe roll that, maybe. Can I?
Okay, sure.
Let's see. I got 45%. This ought to be fun. 40 out of 45.
Well, it reminds you an awful lot, for the most part, of some kind of symbols that were from the Elizabethan period in some of their occult books. Kind of something to do with protection.
Whoa. I remember some of these. My parents used to look at these quite a lot. These are Elizabethan stuff. Something about protection.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that hocus pocus stuff, but that's good.
Yeah, but this is occult stuff. This is stuff that's meant for the supernatural. What are they so scared of that they gotta put this up?
So this is church people, who are using occult symbols.
Yeah, leaders of the Church of the Passover Angel. I mean, if you look back in the Exodus, it was sheep's blood that they had to put on their door frames in order to keep the angel from coming in and killing the firstborn. Maybe this is some sort of replacement for that?
Possibly. I get my phone out and take photos of the text and just round the shelter as well, so we've got something to show the other guys when we get back.
Okay, not a problem. Done.
Awesome. Now,
this
might be the good chance to get back.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty late. Are you going to bother shutting the door all the way so it looks like you haven't been in there?
Yeah,
or are you not
we want to leave it the way we found it.
Okay.
Yeah, that way there's less chance of us getting nailed for not having a warrant.
True. All right, so you get back up, get back to the police station.
Still frogs.
On your way back, the Balfours leave. They head on home.
Okay.
You guys get back from the neighbor's house.
Can I say something? Okay. You mean back to the house? from the neighbor's house?
Yes, back to the back. You get back to the station.
So we're all at the station.
Okay, before I go back to the station,
Okay.
I say to Eric, humor me on this one. Let's stop by at the CVS on the way back to the station. And we stop at the drugstore, and I go in, and I buy 2 big cans of insect repellent, and I hand him one, and I say, you're going to want this later.
Okay.
Because so far, we've had blood, we've had frogs. Next on the list is lice. So,
well, we're gonna have flies because all those frogs in the street are gonna get run over, and that is
I think
nasty.
I think the correct translation from the Hebrew is lice.
I'm just saying these dead frogs, tons of flies.
Yeah, biting insects. So we'll be prepared for biting insects if that happens next.
I'll make sure to get the raid.
Get all the
swing by Extravaganza at some point.
That's farther out in town. They're closed by now.
Okay, breakfast.
Yeah, we can go there for breakfast. All right, let's get back to the station.
Okay, so you get back to the station and give your reports to each other, and it's about bedtime. I mean, you know, it's late. You guys have had a busy day. It's late.
Well,
anything else you want to go over, guys, or do you think we should call it here for the night?
Let's have a little discussion before we leave for the night. But
right, let's do that.
My opinion is this Church of the Passover Angel. These kind of groups, they sort of pick and choose what they want. Like you mentioned, some sort of occult symbols around their door.
Right, it was the kind of stuff that it was the kind of stuff that my parents were into when they were part of a cult when I was growing up.
Yeah, the reason why they're cult, they're not actually affiliated with any actual legitimate ancient church like the Catholics or the, anything like that. So
the rogue splinter groups.
They sort of make things up as they go along. But it could be that somehow they've orchestrated it so that they are making the so-called biblical plagues come to pass in some way. And I don't think they're using God or magic. I think they're doing it somehow very scientifically, but they're doing it covertly. So what do we got?
My question is how they would dye the entirety of Lake Erie red.
Well,
how they would have a bunch of frogs coming down. I saw them hitting the windows.
Well, I follow Dan's logic. If they poisoned the lake, then the frogs would leave the lake, and I believe in what I see.
Yeah, it's clever, but
okay, true.
It's not God or any Passover angel coming back, but it makes me worry because we got the blood, then the frogs, then the lice or insects, then we've got wild animals running loose, which I would put some security on the local zoo and make sure that nobody's fucking around with the
understandable.
We don't need no wild buffalo going down the street.
Yeah, we don't. Well, God forbid the big cats.
Then comes pestilence, which basically is diseases and boils on animals like cats and cattle and what else. Which we've just seen that. We told them about the cat.
Yeah.
Then comes diseases on humans, boils.
Yeah,
then
that cat.
Now the rest of this, I don't know how they could possibly pull off, but a hailstorm that destroys things.
A hailstorm that turns into fire and all that crap.
We have those things anyways.
That's true.
Hailstone that size broke my windshield. Then locusts, then darkness, and then the death of the firstborn. And if these fanatics are crazy or something, they could poison the water supply. God knows what they're doing.
So this is a definite terrorist act.
Yeah.
That's why I'm wanting to look into these guys so bad. They're definitely on terrorist level shit here.
I think we should get a couple of guys to stake out the zoo See if there's any monkey business.
Oh God!
Oh.
Seriously, Lieutenant.
Why do you want
Oh,
the
God.
Why do you want
Lieutenant.
the zoo staked out?
I swear to God, it just came out, and then I realized what I said.
Why do you want the zoo staked out? I mean, you're dealing with
This
a
is
kidnapping.
not a laughing matter, Lieutenant. We don't have
Because
time
this
for
is
these kind of
something.
jokes.
This is something much more serious. But we still have to find the kid.
We
need
do
to-
still have to
Here's
find
the
the
about
kid.
animals.
This is going to have to take the back burner. We need to find the poor girl first. And
And we
just
still
all of
have
these
no
things-
idea where this kid went.
All these things could be leading
Oh.
up to something. Is
I
this
just-
their firstborn child?
We're gonna end it here for the night. It's getting pretty late. I just need to ask Eric one question. Eric, did you keep book?
Well, yeah, I was going to mention I wanted to probably stay up tonight, maybe have a drink and read as much of that book as I can.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to take a good while. Like I said, it's about a 200-page book. The first thing is the dedication to God, you know, and the Passover angel and all this. And you find that it lists their website and the address of their church and that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's all I wanted to do. Is anybody going to do anything when they get home?
Go to sleep.
I might.
Hug my children.
Before I go to bed, I might take a look at their website.
Okay.
I think I'm also going to take a look at the website.
I'm probably going to end up doing that too with my current obsession with taking these guys down.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a little word with Braun kind of at the side privately and just say, Braun, you know, I want to go and just take my binoculars up and the camera up and just kind of scout from a distance, keep an eye on what the couple are doing back at the house before I head home.
You might want to do that, but just keep your ass hidden, because if you get spotted and you get the cops called on you, it's your ass. Know that.
Well, if you came with me, then the cops would be there and they could sort it out really quickly.
That's actually quite legit. What do you think, Lieutenant?
Well, you could have some patrolmen who haven't been up all night, just came on, have them do it for you.
That's true. Think you can find some guys?
I think that the Cleveland Police Department has like 4,000 police.
Oh, they'll find some. They'll find someone.
And they've got a huge, you know, crime detection. I'm sure that we could. Is that legitimate, Game Master?
I mean, you can, but you've been up a very long time. You're tired. I mean, you had your normal shift, then this came in, then this took precedence. You've been out running around. If you want to stay up, you can.
Okay, I don't think you heard what we said.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
We said we're going to get a couple of other cops.
Oh, well, I'm
stake
getting to
the
that.
place out.
I would say, you know, but if you would prefer to get a couple of other cops to stake the place out, that's not a problem. You have full reign to do whatever you need to do.
Well, yeah, we've got a whole police department. So
the priority in the city of Cleveland right now is this 5-year-old girl, Regina Balfour.
right.
Right. Having somebody stake out the parents' house is not too big of a call to make.
Right. I mean, they can use as their excuse that they're just making sure that everything is protected there because they were already attacked once today.
That would work.
Right.
Right. Not a problem.
Right.
You could get it. You
So-
could get it done easily.
So we assign other cops to do that for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those
Right.
looking at the website,
Mhm.
I'll just tell you now. It's really simple. You get on the website, and the first thing that blows your mind is that the background is this pretty little colorful design, cartoonish with frogs on it.
Hmm.
Does not look like the church, you know, a church type of background. They talk. There's sections there for the, you know, about us section, which just explains that they're God-fearing people and that, you know, they worship Jesus, you know, and then there's the section on, you know, their times and events and stuff like this. On the very front of the computer screen, in huge letters, there's a clock ticking down, and it says "Time till Armageddon," and it's showing in hours.
How many hours?
Yeah.
If you sit down and you do the math, Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
And what's
What is
today?
This is the end of Friday. What day was it that we caught this on? Yeah, this is the end of Friday.
All right, so we got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
I'm sorry, my bad. The end of Thursday. I knew that I got that wrong.
So we have 6 days.
So 6 days.
Okay.
So maybe you're right, Lieutenant, about all the plagues. We could maybe get them in about 6 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys noticed,
They're definitely doing something.
Mr. Anderson and I got insect repellent because that's the next play. You should do the same on your way home.
Yeah, I might go to the store and pick up some DEET.
Yeah,
There you go.
probably a good idea.
I'll buy a mosquito net on the way home.
Yeah, get some ant repellent and stuff just in case.
That's not a bad idea. Get one of those beekeeper masks.
All right, so
Make
that's
sure all the doors and windows are locked.
That's the end of the night.
Yeah.
Next morning, you get a report from the police officers that had the place staked out. They said the lights went out about 11 o'clock. Nobody, and nobody moved. Nobody came. Nobody went.
Nothing suspicious. Okay.
About 4 o'clock in the morning. About 4 o'clock in the morning, John Balfour came out on the front porch and smoked a cigarette. Then went back inside.
So nothing terribly unusual.
All right. Well, now you guys said when you looked into the house that there was a smashed computer and a smashed phone, and they were taken for evidence. Was it possible to possibly get any information off the computer or off of the phone's hard drive, or were they completely damaged?
This is the next day. They're still going over the hard drive. The hard drive is in pretty bad shape because it had a sledgehammer taken to it. However, the phone is another matter. It smashed it, but the SIM card is pretty good, so they could pull information off of it. Not really a problem.
All right. Well, what did they find out?
That there is a number of phone calls in the last couple of days, one to his sister, and a bunch to this other number, and then the other number is a lady named Lindsay Pearl, and then it goes dead. I mean, there's no information as of early Thursday morning.
Lindsay Pearl, huh?
Yeah, we should track down this Pearl woman, see if she knows anything.
Absolutely. I mean, we're looking for connections between George and the car that drove away.
Right.
Yes.
Speaking of which, has anybody reported a tan Ford Taurus being found?
Not yet.
Damn.
If this were England, there would be cameras everywhere in the city.
Yeah, no shit, right?
True.
CCTV all over the place.
John Balfour is at the police station.
Oh, he's here?
Yep, he's here.
I want to ask a really quick question though of the GM. Was there anything on the website for their church about like dietary restrictions or like the Mormons don't allow chocolate and they don't allow
they're not like that kind of strict. They appear to be, to any common person looking at it, they appear to be a normal Christian sect outside the whole doomsday thing.
Okay.
Which there have been plenty of religions that have proposed doomsday.
Right.
With the website, was there any symbols, the symbols that we were looking at in the bunker? Anything like
What
that?
about
No, there was
book?
not. Actually,
There was a really tacky frog background. Does that help?
in the book, glad you asked that, there's various chapters. Some of the chapters, most of the chapters are just talking about the Passover angel is going to come, and Jesus will walk on the earth, and and doomsday. There's talk about his time in Kenya. He was a missionary in Kenya. There's talk about his church and various things like that. Very back of the book, there's no explanation given for it. There's not it's just like the chapter notes, I guess you could call it. There's no like text that goes along with it. There is all kinds of graphs and symbols and occult looking stuff on like the last 4 or 5 pages of it.
Okay.
That's weird.
Is that
Oh,
like
yeah.
printed or
See if
handwritten?
these symbols look like the stuff that were on those pictures of the door frame.
It looks like some kind of weird astrological kind of chart. The way that astrologists line up everything with the moons and all that kind of weird stuff.
It makes sense. These kind of religious groups are always trying to calculate the day of the end of the world.
Well,
Yeah, because nothing's more important than waiting to say
even
your
the
last
Bible
prayer,
says,
right?
even
The
the
thing
Bible
is
says,
that-
no man can know when the hour will come. I mean,
Well, like I said, they pick and choose. What'll happen is Wednesday will come and go, and their religious followers will either fall away or they'll make some statement like, "Oh, well, we miscalculated by
Yeah, that's
there's
been
been
all
There's
over.
been countless religions. It's nothing new. There's been countless religions that have done this from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Was this
and the
book
gullible."
gone through a lot, or was it pretty new? Like, had he like?
It's a new book. In fact, on the website you can order one for $29.95.
$29.95. So, does anybody else want to read this culty book?
I'll definitely take a peek at it.
yeah, I say let our occult expert take a look at it.
There you go.
Make it a cult roll.
Come on, 45%. Ooh, 13. Awesome.
Is that a hard occult roll?
With a 45, let me actually check that real quick because I
should
didn't
be.
actually
It
write
should
that
be.
down. It should be.
That
but I
should
need to
definitely
double
be.
check. I will double check just for.
We'll just assume that it is. That's the 13 sounds like it falls in that
Yeah,
span.
it actually
Yeah, it
does.
definitely does.
Yeah.
The
It
occult
definitely does.
writings you're looking at, while it would take you hours and hours to figure out what they're saying,
Yeah.
it's star charts. It's astrological star charts
And this is astrological star charts. Like,
with occult symbols thrown in. But I mean, that's what this basically comes down is they're trying to chart something.
The end of the
Can,
world.
can Bron
Probably-
tell if it's like current calendar?
Like I said, it would take hours to sit down and plot it all out and figure it out. And he does not have the skill to do that. You would need
Nah.
somebody like a cryptologist or an astrologist to do that.
do we have anybody in our division that would be considered as such?
Yeah.
Well,
An
you
astrologist?
easily got
No,
cryptologists.
cryptologists.
Yeah,
And there's probably somebody that studies astrology.
I think
We'll give it to the
that you would
crypto nerds.
you'd probably do better with Madame Cleo down the road. I'll
Uh-huh.
tell you exactly what that means.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
she
on,
told
don't make
me I
do
would-
that accent again.
Yeah, she told me I'd
Sure
get
she
shot
could.
2 days ago.
Was there any update on the frogs? Did they finally go back into the sewers?
Yes, the frogs had finally gone away.
Oh, thank God.
Did we take samples of the frogs?
Probably run
I
over
would
all of the street.
imagine you
Probably
could
tons.
easily.
Yeah, there's dead frogs everywhere.
Are the
Take a
frogs
dead frog. There you go.
indigenous to this area, or were they imported?
They are indigenous.
Ah, shit.
You've never
Well,
seen,
so much
you've
for that
never
idea.
seen them. You've never seen them in those numbers before. It's in the news. It's baffling zoologists because yes, those frogs are indigenous to the area, but they've never been at that quantity before. I mean, no one has ever seen that many frogs.
Well, so much for the idea of planes dropping them on us.
Have they analyzed the water in Lake Erie to see what could be causing the red bloom?
Yeah.
They tested the water and it tests positive for blood.
What the
Positive,
blood.
positive for blood. That can't be
About-
possible.
About 50-50 mix.
Is there
That's a lot of blood.
an abattoir somewhere nearby, or a slaughterhouse?
Yeah, like a slaughterhouse.
Nowhere
Near
that
Lake.
you know of right offhand. And just to be honest, if there was,
That's a lot of blood.
to be honest with you, yeah, you're talking to Lake Erie.
Like Erie's big. There's no way the
And
whole thing could
tributaries.
just.
And the tributaries.
Which makes me
Well-
wonder if there are any ships that suddenly decide to get stuck.
No, even
That
then,
would-
that wouldn't
still-
be enough blood.
And now the whole ecology must be destroyed. I mean,
Completely.
fish can't live in that.
Yeah, it's killed fish
Oh God, this
Well,
place
by the
smells.
droves.
So this is a national disaster.
Did they test? Did they test and see what kind of blood it was? Is it fish,
They
frog,
cannot.
animal?
They cannot determine that.
All right.
It's just
Alright,
blood.
it's just blood.
All
They
right.
can't
What?
tell it's human or animal.
What do we know so far? We know that somebody abducted the little girl.
Yes.
Right.
We believe that whoever abducted the little girl knew that she had this disease because they tried to
Yes.
retrieve their equipment. Did you ask Mr. Balfour if there were any ex-parishioners that had a grudge on him?
Yes, I did ask, and he said there was nobody that he could think of in the church or earlier.
Hmm.
That's really strange. Did you ask if there was anybody perhaps in like close kinship with the family that knew of her sickness?
I did not ask that.
My guess is that, well, my guess is close kins would all know, and I imagine everybody at church would know because if they were
Yes, of
there,
course.
they knew the little girl.
That's true. I guess. Well, that was a shot in the dark.
I think that maybe it's not done yet. Maybe you really need to make him think about it. Maybe now that he's had a chance to sleep overnight, he'll think, well, there
What
was
the
that one.
hell? What the hell is going on? Some guy down the hallway screaming.
What the?
What the?
Who's
He's
that?
coming in,
He's
he's
kinda-
like fluffing his hair and scratching himself.
Grab your bug stuff.
Yep,
Yep.
I've got the deep.
I throw the mosquito
Brand
net
down.
on me.
Off deep woods.
I should get extra points for.
We should all get insanity for that.
Well, yes, but okay, here's the thing is, you're right, Tom, with the small exception of, these are lice, not mosquitoes.
Yeah, they still won't jump on you if they got something smelly on you, like DEET.
Well, I mean, I'm using off deep woods.
All right.
That should repel pretty much everything.
Let's
Either
All
way,
right.
let's go ahead and take a look.
Yes, the guy is covered in lice. His hair is just literally moving. There's so much
Ah.
lice in his
Oh
hair.
my God, that's nasty.
Christ!
I'm going home. Good night.
I'm going to stay back.
Let the bitch die.
Someone needs to get a sample of those lice.
I ain't touching it.
Well, look, that's a job.
Not
for the
my job.
cops, I'll let you guys do it.
Forensics, folks.
Can we
come on
call the
in.
forensics division in?
All right.
Yeah.
Call the entomologist in.
And you see outside, people are just like running everywhere.
But speaking of forensics, did they ever test
This
that
is-
cat?
Yeah.
They tested the cat, and they don't know. They have no idea what's causing. They're just simple boils, but they have no idea what's causing them.
Boils and sores.
Hey, speaking of boils and
Brand.
sores, anybody want to go to Extravaganza?
What
The,
does
In
that
this?
have to do with it? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
leaving this building when there are infectious lice out there.
I'll go to Extravaganza.
And,
Yeah, one way or the other, we have to keep doing our job. So we got
There's also
Dean.
a sister we need to talk to.
You're right.
See if the
Right.
suspect had changed personalities lately, maybe mentioned anything.
Yeah.
And there's that Pearl woman we need to look into.
Yeah.
Lindsay.
Yeah.
What Ann said, we need to look at that Pearl lady.
I'll tell you what. I'll head over and talk to the sister. Did we get a name? On the sister?
Yeah, we did. I just didn't tell you what it was because I don't like you very much.
Well, at least the truth is out.
Now, it says in here someplace. Her name is Kelly.
Kelly.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll
Is that
go.
her- that's her last name?
So
I
let's
think I'll
all
go-
get a breakfast at Extravaganza, and then we'll split
decide
up
who's
from
going.
there.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
has the
decide who's
same
going
last-
where.
All right.
Her
I'm gonna
last
talk. I'm gonna go to talk to the sister. You guys go to the breakfast. Anne, did you want to go talk to see if you can locate this Lindsay Pearl?
Sure. I'd like a little backup just in case. I mean, too many weird things are happening. I have a suspicion this might not just be a terrorist attack.
I mean, I can come with you. It'd be better if there was less officers over there at the Extravaganza anyway.
Right.
Even the 2 PIs go over there.
All right.
Okay.
As
All
you do.
right. So once again, we split 3 ways.
Yeah, split the
Do you want us
party,
to-
yes.
Is that what you said?
Always
Are you-
split the party.
Are you jumping for a speed run?
It's what
Stop
we
trying to cover our
do.
base.
So, Mr. Balfour, as you come out, he just gives you this strange look. He says, "Has you found my daughter yet?"
We're still
Not
looking
yet,
into
sir.
it, sir.
We are really looking. Are you sure that you can't think of anyone, a parishioner, that might have a grudge on you, or
Or would know that your daughter has these illnesses and would want to steal her? Because
anybody who said anything to you during church services that?
No, our congregation is sweet, loving people. We're God-fearing people. They would never do anything like that.
Okay, sir, but what about outside of the congregation?
mm-hmm.
I don't know of anybody that would do this. Regina's loved by everybody. I mean, her doctor is the only one that really sees her. She doesn't get out to play much, obviously.
What about calling a meeting for your church members to see if we could rally some support and see if there's any other information they could give us?
Yeah, bring your church members into this. Maybe they might know something that you're not remembering.
I suppose I could do that. I
See-
suppose I could call a special meeting.
See also who isn't coming to your meeting.
Good point. Oh, who's been
Sure.
acting strange at the meeting?
So is there like a party next Wednesday with your church?
Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about Wednesday. As long as you're a God-fearing man, you have nothing to worry about.
You mentioned
why
her
would that be?
doctor.
Yes, her doctor,
Well, who-
Lucian Dante.
What? I'm sorry. What was the name?
Lucian Dante.
Lucian Dante.
Dante. Dr. Lucian Dante.
Isn't that the most ominous name ever? Poor guy.
Dun, dun, dun.
I thought the same thing.
And he's here in town.
Yes, he is.
All right, we'll look him up.
He gives you the address.
Right. He doesn't need to. I can just look it up on Google. He's
True.
a doctor. It's modern day. All right, thanks. We are doing our best to try and track this down. We don't have many solid leads.
Yeah, we just don't.
We're basically some stranger came in off at the moment. Some stranger came off the street, took your kid, and ran. And
Can I tag along?
Do you have any relatives that? No, you can't tag along.
It's
That's against
it could
police
potentially
policy.
that, and it could potentially be too dangerous. If the kidnapper suddenly appears out of nowhere and tries to shoot you dead, or tries to harm us, or
Yeah, no, just let us
can't
do our
risk
job.
it.
But she's my
Just-
daughter.
I understand,
understand.
but let
I
us do our
understand,
job.
but
We can't look for her and protect you at the same time.
It's just best you
If
go
there's-
home and pray for our support and our help in finding it, okay?
If you
You
can
can-
think of anything, anyone who, a neighbor that doesn't like your church, anything like that, please tell us immediately.
We're quiet people.
I understand that.
I will
Well-
arrange for you to have a meeting tonight.
That's great.
all
What
right,
time?
thank you.
Yeah. I'm still interested in Wednesday, so I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah, but what time?
8 o'clock?
Yeah, 8 o'clock sounds good.
That works.
Then we'll meet
Thank you,
you right there, sir.
All right.
That's tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night.
Okay.
So I'm going to see if I can locate this Kelly girl, not girl, fellow. The sister.
Yeah.
You never know nowadays.
It actually
I mean,
sounds
just
like a guy
ask.
thing to me.
I want to try and get in touch with some old ATF buddies and find out if there's any background on our suspect that they could maybe shed some light.
Okay. Background
Yeah,
on the subject. They actually knew about the storm shelter in the back. They have investigated it and found nothing illegal in there. They searched high and low, and there are some members of the church who have definitely been suspicious of gun hoarding and illegal guns and definite white militia kind of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Well,
Yeah, but this seems different.
well, now this is where we split the party 3 ways.
All right.
Okay, Jen, what are you doing?
Who?
Jen, you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were referring to a different. I thought you were referring in
No.
character. I apologize. Well, I'm
That's
going to go with Lieutenant Cole and go see if we can track down this Pearl character.
Okay, so
No, I thought you were going with
Yeah, you're going with me to do that.
Helmsley.
Okay, sorry. That's wrong character. I am so sorry.
okay, so you two go off, find Lindsay Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
You get to her house. Nobody's home.
Could
Even
we
after
have
knocking on the
them-
door and all
Yeah,
that.
Door's locked. No one's home.
No car in the driveway or in the garage, as far as we can tell.
Yeah, peek into the
No,
garage,
there's
maybe.
not. There is not a car in the driveway.
Maybe we could post a stakeout and see if that tan Ford comes to that house, or peek into the windows and see if there's anything in there.
We can do that. While I look in the windows,
Just-
you can check with the neighbors, see if maybe she's just off to work or something.
Good idea.
Just as a back trace to yesterday when you were at Lewiston's house, his white Taurus was in the garage.
All right, so. Okay, well, I think we should probably leave a notice for Miss Pearl to get back to us if she has any information on the door, and I am going to go ask some of the neighbors if the woman herself is at work, if she is maybe out of the town or something, or if she's got maybe any information, anything they might know concerning her.
It was the tan Taurus is what you're looking for. The only neighbor that's around at this time of the day just tells you that, she comes and goes. She works sometimes long hours. But they're not really friends. They don't really talk that much. She knows is that she worked for the Department of Child Protection Services.
Okay, so
Child
definitely we
Protection
are going to want to talk to her, I think. She might have some information concerning the child's well-being, or she might have worked into in a similar case with this child before.
It's entirely possible. I mean, you have a very, very sick child.
I mean,
CPF is going to be with you almost all the time.
My theory is maybe Munchausen syndrome by proxy. It's a stretch.
It is a
I've
stretch,
seen
but that is not too bad. Looking through the windows and stuff, did I notice anything out of the ordinary?
From the windows, you can see that the house is immaculately kept. On her mantle, she's got some trophies. Lots of pictures all over the house. But that's really all you can tell without going inside.
Well, nothing much too suspicious inside, I'm afraid. Not so far.
Do you perhaps see a copy of.
You can always get a warrant.
Yeah, we should probably, if we want to look into anything more, but I don't know if this woman is suspicious. I don't think she is. We are definitely going to want to speak with her next. We get the chance. So
yeah,
I'm assuming we could leave like a police notice on the door and saying, "Could we speak with you when you get a chance? Thank you. We're from here. We're looking into this case.
Yeah,
coming at your earliest convenience."
Yeah, let's try that. And if she doesn't show in a day or so, then she might be suspect.
Yes.
Okay. And Dan, where are you going?
Looking for Kelly Balfour, I assume.
Okay, yeah. You find Kelly Balfour pretty easily. She's at home. She's a housekeeper. And she doesn't know what to tell you. Her brother is a fine, upstanding man, worked for the ATF for years, and recently retired.
Did he ever discuss any of his cases with you?
No, he never discussed any of his case with me. I mean, we don't talk like that. I talked to him just the other day, and everything seemed fine. He seemed a little nervous, kind of stressed out a little bit, but other than that.
Did he ever discuss like religious ideas with you?
No.
No, not a religious man.
No, not really. I mean, he goes to special occasions and stuff like that, but he was never really a churchgoer, even when we were kids. She goes over to the mantel and pulls down a picture, and she goes, "This is him."
And does it look like the man from the...
It's the man from the picture in his house.
Were you aware that he recently dyed his hair? Has he ever done that before?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, we live on the opposite ends of towns. I don't see him all the time.
When was the last time?
Oh, it's been a month ago.
All right.
But he's been so busy with his retirement, doing whatever he does in his retirement. I know he hangs down at the Extravaganza a lot. He talks about that all the time. But I don't know anything other than that. I mean, like I said, he's a fine, upstanding gentleman. He's worked for the police department for ages.
Yes, everything seemed to indicate that from his apartment. Are you a religious person, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
What church do you go to?
I go to Church of the Latter-day Saints.
Oh, you're a Mormon. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Thank you very much. Good day.
All right, good day.
On my way back, I'm going to see if I can drop by this Dr. Lucian Dante's office and ask him some questions.
All right. What do you want to know from him? He appears to be a tall, dark-haired man.
Does he look like Satan?
No, he doesn't. He's got a very striking appearance. He's very good-looking. Got dark, deep-set eyes, dark hair,
like Satan. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched Lucifer. You just described Lucifer.
He's got a black aura.
He's got beautiful gold Rolex on.
Satan.
Yeah. Of course he's successful. What kind of a doctor is he?
He is a lung doctor, a pulmonary specialist.
What I want to talk to him about then, I guess, is I want him to understand what the situation is, that the little girl's been kidnapped and that we are trying desperately to locate her because she doesn't have her medical equipment. And if he could offer us any information of anyone about the family, about anybody.
The Balfours are good, upstanding citizens. I've known them for 3-4 years now. They're good, upstanding people. I can't sing their praises highly enough. They love their daughter. They bring her in here routinely to get her checked up and all this. But this is very important for you to understand. If Regina does not get on her medicine within inside of a week, if not less, she will die.
Mm-hmm.
It is critical that she is found and gotten back on her medicine.
We are doing our very best to do just exactly that. I want to do a psychology roll on the guy, see if he's trying to mislead me in any way.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm looking at his picture on the wall, too. I got a 95.
Yeah. He appears to be very straightforward
Right.
and honest with you. I mean.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Eric is not back yet. I don't know where he went.
Oh.
Me?
Oh, well, you're Seth. I'm sorry, Seth.
Yeah.
So we'll wait for him to get back for a few minutes. Like I said, Dante is.
I'm right here.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
Your camera's not working for me, at least.
Oh, I can see him.
Okay. Well, then that's fine as long as you can see him. All right.
I'm here.
Now to extravaganza. Before we go to extravaganza, the lice is really getting to you guys. Even with the DEET on, they're coming through it. It's driving you crazy.
What?
It's in your hair, in your crotch, on your arms and legs, in your socks. It's driving you crazy.
We're going to like a CVS. Let's see if there's any sort of crap that I can like smear into my luxurious hair.
I might be desperate enough to go and get some Nair and just shampoo in it.
I mean, it's into everybody, and this is with DEET on. You can imagine the poor people running around without it.
Oh God.
Okay.
Next is wild animals. Watch the zoo.
Okay, there's probably going to be probably going to be fleas at the nightclub. So let's go.
All right, so you get to extravaganza, and it's a little hole in the wall restaurant. That's all it is. It's a, like a breakfast diner with that 50s theme to it. It just doesn't look like it was made to look that way. It looks like it's just that old.
Okay.
And you go in there, and they welcome you, and ask you what they can get for you.
Well, I'll probably have some breakfast anyway. But
yeah.
With or without lice.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna ask see if they recognize the suspect. I'm assuming we have photographs of him.
Yeah, you do. She does. She goes, "That's Mr. Lewison. He comes in here all the time."
Does Mr. Lewison meet with any group or anything like that?
No, he just comes in for his normal. Came in. He came in yesterday.
Yesterday he came in, really?
I'm sorry, day before. Yeah, come in yesterday.
And but he only eats alone?
Yeah, he only eats alone.
Huh.
Are you with the police?
Well, I'm working a case regarding a missing child, and he is a person of interest in that case.
You got a badge?
I'm a private investigator, ma'am.
So you're not actually cops?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Well, I start to turn a bit of the charm on and chat her up a bit. See if we can win her over.
All right, charmer.
I will do the same.
It's a success. A regular success.
Regular success as well.
I was hoping that Eric would have screwed your spiel up. All right, so you're talking to her, and she goes, "Yeah, he came in yesterday. He bought his meal with a credit card. I remember because it was a brand new card. He had not called it in to turn it on yet, so he had to call it in and turn it on."
Huh. Okay.
Did they have a record of that transaction?
Yes, I do.
Well, we ask her for that.
Well, I don't know. You're not really cops. I mean, if you were cops, I'd have to just give it to you. But since you're not cops,
now there's this, which I understand, and that's completely understandable. But you see, there is this there is a very young girl involved, a very, very sweet little girl, and we are just trying to make sure that we can find her safely. And getting the cops will take time.
Honey, I don't know nothing about that. All I know is I work a minimum wage paying job.
You hadn't heard about the little girl in the news?
I don't have time to watch the news. I run this place. And now we've got this attack of lice. It's running off my customers.
Okay.
Well, I suggest
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, if I don't know, you can make it worth my while.
Well, I'd drop her $30 or something.
Yeah, that'll work. She goes, okay, I'll be right back. She goes and gets a copy of the receipt for you.
Okay. We maybe just phone that back into the department and ask them to check out. Is the name his actual name on the card? Yeah.
No, his name is not on the card. It looks like a disposable card. You know, one of the ones you buy from Walmart that
okay.
prepaid card.
Okay. We can see if we can find out if that card's been used since the kidnapping.
It's getting dark outside, by the way, and it
Already?
should be dark. Shouldn't be dark, but it's getting dark.
It's cloudy with a chance of lice.
Well, I'll go to the window and I'm going to look outside.
There's just these black clouds of what you guess would be insects in the skies above it.
Here come the locusts.
I would like to put on another coating of my DEET. just
I would like
touch
to
up.
swim or have a bath in it.
And crap, I got.
But just before we head out of here, you know, I speak to the barkeeper again and ask if there's any friends that hang about that regularly meet the guy at the bar. You know, we could talk to.
No, it's pretty sad.
Friends.
He always eats alone. Retired gentleman. He always eats alone. It's pretty sad. He needs a good woman in his life.
Does he ever like read a book or anything like that?
I've seen him read from time to time. Sometimes the paper, sometimes a book.
Anything in particular?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is he sitting in any preferred like seat anywhere? Like,
Oh, just wherever. Usually at the bar.
okay.
Do y'all want to order?
Yeah, I order something to take away.
Omelet, no lice.
Well, you guys get you a little something to take away. Egg sandwich or something. Tastes like shit. Obviously not a very good diner.
We throw it in the bin and away out.
So you get outside, and these black clouds have descended. They're flies. Millions of flies everywhere.
Those frogs. I told you. Those dead frogs.
What's the world coming to? We get in the car as quickly as possible, keep the fan or aircon off, and anywhere you want to go. Eric?
Well, I can only think of just going back to the station unless you got anywhere.
No, I can't see any other leads.
Do me a favor. Roll a spot hidden.
No.
Yes. A hard success.
Out of the corner of your eye, you're not sure, so you take a double take. You see what appears to be John Balfour on the other side of the street, watching this place.
Oh, okay. So he's doing his own detective work. So maybe do you want to just go and approach him?
Yeah, let's see if we can maybe offer him a ride back to the station.
Yeah, we approach him and say, "How you doing, John? What you doing over here?"
She's my daughter.
Yeah. We know that's why we're here. We're following up every lead we can. I try and reassure him a little bit. Can I do a psychology to see if this is just like, you know, the father's anxiety, or if there's something else going on?
Yeah, sure.
That was a disaster. I don't have a clue. I just think he looks like a concerned father.
He appears to be worried about his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a regular success on psychology.
He appears to be worried about his daughter.
Okay.
Okay, we offer him a lift back to the station or back home.
He's got a car.
Okay.
You notice,
And,
though,
I am gonna ask him if he thinks all this is related to their big event coming up next week.
God works in mysterious ways.
Did you guys know this was gonna happen?
Well, it is prophesied in the book of Exodus. It is prophesied that there will come a calamity. And he goes into some religious mumbo jumbo, you know, listing off all this stuff and explaining to you. And he goes, and there's something else you might not have noticed.
What's that?
Just as God kept a watchful eye on the Israelites, and he points up and you see a camera and you've noticed it now. He is watching us now. And he knows that there's cameras. There's cameras everywhere. This is a city. It's a modern day city. They have CCTVs and security cameras everywhere.
Huh.
And what did
So God's watching those cameras?
He sees all.
Okay.
Make a spot hidden roll.
No.
No.
Okay.
Failure.
He goes, keep looking.
Does that mean
Find
you can
my
make another spot hidden roll?
That means find my daughter.
Okay. We are trying, sir.
Okay. I say to him, you know, with all of these calamities and these prophecies of, you know, disaster, the fact that your daughter's gone missing at this time, do you see that as connected in any way?
I don't see how. I mean, the world is full of godless heathens, but they're going to get there soon. God will be back and he will smite them. But I don't deal with these people. I rarely leave my house. I spend so much time on my sermons. I rarely leave my house to do these, you know, to get out, except for we go to the doctor, you know, and we go grocery shopping. You know, she's homeschooled. So she doesn't get out. She doesn't, you know.
How did you know to be here?
I followed you.
Oh.
He's got a better spot hidden than we have, or tracking.
Evidently.
Okay, I think he's given us a lead here. I think we should be speaking to the station about looking at the CCTV round about the diner, and seeing the movements of our suspect.
See if there was ever a 10
on the day of the abduction.
Okay. So you guys head back to the station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He gets in his car and drives away.
Like the other way?
No, he just drives back towards the station area.
Okay.
All right, can I assume you're all at the station now?
You're all at the station now, flies included.
Oh, great.
The air is thick with flies.
I just spray another layer of
Okay.
deep woods.
I want to ask the GM. I thought we'd established earlier that there wasn't CCTV all over the city. Otherwise, why don't we know?
You made a comment about that. No one asked me about it.
Well, okay, I'm a
You
police
just made a
officer. If there's, do we have any film footage of where the car went?
Yeah, is there footage?
Well, the problem with it is CCTV. The way most of it works is it's on buildings. So once that car leaves and gets on the main road, you're not going to be able to track it.
Unless we can see it from the next building go by.
Well, you don't. I mean, you just see it take off to the left,
Right.
and I mean, you get plenty of views of the car. You don't get the license plate because most CCTVs suck. But you can see the car take off and peel out of the parking lot, and he go back in, and then you just catch up on the video that back in the box store.
I was hoping maybe even the ones on the traffic lights to catch people breaking the law, that we could see where the damn car is going.
But I guess not.
Does the same apply for round about the diner area? Once we get some feedback on that, is it just a case of, do we see anything appearing there, the car there, or the suspect there?
You don't see the tan Ford Taurus there anytime in the last week, let's say.
Okay.
Did the tan Ford Taurus look new?
No, it does not look new. It looks like it's not beat up, but it definitely is an earlier model.
Okay.
Hey, you guys said that card was disposable, correct?
Yes.
Well, then
Yes.
why don't we have somebody run the purchase and see where that card was purchased? Maybe they can track that.
Well, we're talking about what's his name's card? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the temporary
The
card.
subjects.
So
does
far,
suspect.
Everything seems to point that he was somehow either coerced or mentally drugged or brainwashed into doing this, because every bit of his behavior in that camera footage is completely incongruent with all of his other behavior previously.
Maybe.
I'm thinking, why don't we're in the police department. Is it possible to find out how many people own a tan Ford Taurus in the city? And maybe, and it's ridiculous, get a list of all of those owners and see if any of them are members of the church.
Well, you said something about brainwashing, but
I think that's a great idea.
Lieutenant, what if it's not brainwashing? What if he just snapped?
Well, so what would have caused him to snap? So far as we know, there's nothing traumatic in his life.
Or maybe he thinks he's trying to save the child from something, but I can't imagine what. Perhaps from the cult?
He wandered around the store in a daze, knocking things over. Sounds like he was drugged.
Yeah, with a fake mustache.
Did they do any kind of forensics on him? Did he have any drugs in his system?
Toxicology is not back yet.
Okay.
This just happened yesterday.
Right.
To answer a couple of questions, this just happened yesterday. The CCTV does not show where the car really went. And yes, you can get a list of all Ford Tauruses in the area, but this is Cleveland, Ohio, and its suburbs. It's a lot.
Right. But if we have a list of the people who are members of the church, we could just go down the list.
Okay, it'll take a while to get that, but yeah, you can get it.
Right.
It'll take a while.
Okay, well, how about the people who were involved in looking into the church? Did any of them own a tan Ford Taurus?
That's what we're trying to
Are the other ATF agents?
Yeah.
No ATF agent owns a Ford Taurus.
Okay.
Just by law.
Okay.
By
No,
law.
you wouldn't be caught dead in something like that.
You mentioned a white Ford Taurus.
Yes,
who was,
he
who
has
was
a
the owner
white.
of that?
Mr.
Listons?
Lewis, he has a white Ford Taurus in his garage that's still there.
Okay, I was going to point out that a white Ford Taurus at sunset on, would look kind of tan. Maybe
Is it the same year model?
You don't know year.
Right.
Really, I mean...
Well, yeah, like the same body design that they do for, 5-6 years before they change the body.
Right. Remember that the father could be a suspect, too. Just because
He very well
played
could.
innocent.
You have an appointment with the church tonight.
Right.
Yeah, we
so
do.
we have to go.
At 8 o'clock. About what time is it now?
It's about 5.
I think somebody should look out in the parking lot and see if a tan Ford Taurus pulls in.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good idea.
And, also did Pearl call the station at any time?
Lindsay
Who?
Pearl.
Yeah, Lindsay
Yeah,
Pearl,
Lindsay
we've left a
Pearl.
notice.
She did not call. However, Kelly called, and she wanted to talk to the officer that interviewed her.
Okay, that was me.
All right.
Right? She left a message that her brother sent a letter. It just arrived in the mail.
Oh,
Hmm.
what's the letter say?
You want to know what the letter says? I mean, you just going to ask her over the phone?
Yes, please. Obviously, she called.
Okay. I gotta put my other glasses on. This is very hard to read. It's written in cursive.
Shredded
Kelly.
handwritten notes.
Kelly, I'm sorry. By now, I'm probably dead. Just understand that I did what I had to do, and that little girl isn't going to be hurt. When the people trying to profile me see this, go home. Just go home. Trust me. If you can't go home, then believe this, that the Balfours are dangerous and insane, and you can't give their daughter back to them. You wouldn't believe it if I told you why, but it's your head if you do. That's all the letter says. Man, I hate that writing on that printout. It's hard to read.
Yeah.
Would you mind if we swung by and picked that letter up from you? There might be some
Sure,
evidence on the letter itself.
of course. I called you.
I do want to see, is there anywhere somebody could find this medicine that the girl was on? See if any prescriptions have been made for it, or if there's any
Yeah, we should
any
talk.
place anywhere would go.
Yeah, we still haven't talked to that doctor.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Actually, yeah,
I
Lieutenant
spoke to
Dan
the
did.
doctor.
Oh, okay.
All it really is that she's taking is a steroid. So you would need some kind of a steroid.
Well, we have the bag and the medication.
Right. You have the medication, so
Well, yeah,
she's
but-
not on that. But he was asking if there was anybody else. There is no record of a Regina Balfour checking into any hospital anytime, in this area around the time of the abduction.
Is there any way to find out if any like just prescriptions for it have been made like anywhere? I mean, they might have a doctor who could write a prescription.
That would take quite a while. The farther out you go, the longer that's going to take.
Well,
Okay.
medical records are all confidential. It would be hard to get a
Yeah.
pharmacy to release that information. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
HIPAA
HIPAA.
violation.
The crazy
So this-
thing is,
This
But,
man thought that he was abducting the girl to protect her from the Balfours.
Then I was right. My suspicion was correct. Maybe he was thinking he was trying to protect her.
but he
Maybe
also
he's
said,
insane.
he also said that he thought he was in danger of being killed. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's clearly not in his right mind.
Someone was profiling him.
He did kneecap the greeter at the door. I mean, he was not really upstanding citizen.
Yeah, not exactly
Yes.
right.
This could be
Telling you, he wasn't drugged, he was insane. And now the question is, maybe the Balfours couldn't have done something to drive him insane. That makes no sense.
the letter. The letter could simply be a symptom of him being brainwashed, that he had been convinced somehow that the Balfours were dangerous
evil.
people.
But who would convince him of that?
So if we knew that, we would know who had the child.
Another party.
Well,
I Now, other than the church tonight at
Jen,
8.
Anne, make a luck roll.
Okay. I make it.
No one went back to the box store that this all happened to interview anybody there.
Oh! Oh
You guys
my
just
God.
took the CCTV information and left. You never went back to interview the people at the actual box store.
We're going to have to do that. Then we are going to have to interview them. I don't know how I forgot that. Just with all the... To be fair, you can't really think when you're scratching your head because there's lice everywhere. And
I don't know
flies
how
and
we got all that
frogs and-
information in the. I don't know how we got all that information in the beginning without interviewing people.
Yeah.
So
I
do
thought we
wanna-
already had.
So it's been a whole day since this happened now, and we're almost to 24 hours since that happened. Do we want to have half of us do that and the other half go to the church?
We don't
Makes
all
sense
need
to
to
me.
go to the church. I can go
That's
to the
true.
box store.
I'm going to go to the
If
church.
you guys want to go to the church.
I'll go to the box store.
All right.
Okay, so
Church.
All
I'll
right.
go to the box store then.
Okay,
You come with me,
Box store.
Helmsley, and
box
All right.
store. You get the box store. The greeter at the front door, little old lady with a big bandage on her leg.
really, she's back to work with being kneecapped.
What the? Really?
Hey,
Oh my
you just got
gosh.
you just got kneecapped. Can you come to work
It's just-
tomorrow?
It's just a flesh
That is the
wound.
employee of the freaking month.
This is Walmart. They don't give a shit.
She wants her $3 an hour.
Give her a raise. She earned it.
Justice for the greeter.
If she's actually there, I want to ask her, do you have any idea? Did you know that man?
Never
shot
seen him
you?
before in my life. It was weird. He came in and he could have escaped and he came back in and he shot me. It was obvious he didn't want to kill me. He could have killed me dead in a second.
Before that happened, did you get a good look at the tan Ford Taurus?
I never even noticed it. It all happened so quick. She's a lady in her 60s.
Okay. And I show her the picture. Is this the man?
Well, he had a hat on and he had a darker mustache, but yeah, it looks like him.
I draw in a mustache.
Yeah, it looks like him.
Okay. Well, what did you see what happened? Did you see this take place? Could you describe it for me?
Yeah, he came in. He went straight for that lady's cart, took the baby, and ran out of the store, threw it in the car. The car took off, and that's all I saw. And then he came back in and shot me, kicked the lady in the face, and went on a rampage throughout the store, and I heard it later on. He shot himself. Aisle 12.
Okay.
Did he seem in any way delirious or like out of his mind, or did he seem quite intelligent and purposeful in what he was doing?
I don't know. It all happened so fast. I mean,
Happened
he
too
seemed like a
fast.
crazy. He seemed like a crazy man to me.
All right.
I would like to see any of the stands that he knocked over, see if I can notice anything about them, any
Well,
pattern or anything.
They
like
picked
that.
up all the stands. The store's been cleaned up. The blood's been
Right.
removed.
Yeah, but just because I saw the video of which stands he knocked over, I just want to see if were they book stands, just random stands, anything like that. Any?
Just everything, just basically he walked through the store pushing over mannequins, ripping clothes off of racks and throwing them on the floor, pushing over books, the computer supplies, just everything in his path. He just was obviously making a spectacle of himself. He was obviously trying to get caught, basically.
Was he saying anything weird, or was he crying? Did he look mad? What? Any sort of
He had a blank look on his face.
just straightforward, straight blank face?
Yes.
Okay.
So no sign of grief, no sign of Ain't getting none of that. Okay.
I'm going to walk out front and see if, when the Ford Taurus peeled out, if it left tire marks, maybe a clear tread mark of some sort.
Oh, yes, it did. The cops have already examined that. It's just the typical tires on a Ford Taurus.
Stock tires.
Can we just, since it's actually about the same time of day as it was when that happened, can we check and see if that camera might have picked up white as being tan?
Well, you're not there.
No, I went to the big box store.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's be honest. CCTVs, unless you are a really, really high-end business, are shitty. I don't see how, if you look at any CCTV, I don't see how you could tell what the suspect really looked like. They're all crappy.
So it could have been a white car that was just looked tan because of the sun.
I'm still wondering about this Lindsay
Especially if it
Pearl.
was dusty. Especially if it was dusty. If it was dusty, then it could definitely pull off his tan.
Here's something weird. Okay, we had that phone call earlier saying that, from
Kelly. Kelly.
Right. Saying that she got a letter saying that he was trying to protect the girl, right?
Yeah.
Lindsay Pearl works with Child Protective Services, right?
Oh?
Yeah.
She could be our person that was driving the car. Just thinking out loud here, her dedication to protecting children is definitely going to take some sort of precedent, hopefully not out of the legal standpoint.
Well, that needs to be followed up, but there's a thing that's just bothering the hell out of me, and that's that if he, as an officer investigating these terrorist groups, felt that child needed to be rescued and perhaps given to Child Protective Services, why kill himself?
By the way,
go through all this in the illegal process, this completely illegal process in order to do it. Yeah.
Dan, make a spot hidden roll.
Pass.
Over in the men's section, peeking around the corner, is John, the pastor.
Oh.
John Balfour?
John Balfour.
Yeah, John Balfour.
Mr. Balfour, please come over here.
He comes over.
You really shouldn't be here.
I'm just following up clues to my daughter's disappearance.
That's our job, sir. And
well, then do your job.
By interfering, we are here doing our job, obviously. By interfering, you cause us to become distracted from the job that we're doing, sir. We want to find your daughter. It's our number one priority, and we are doing our best to find those clues. I can't stop you from what you're doing, but it's not helping us.
He just looks at you very sternly and says, "Find my daughter," and then walks backwards and disappears in the store.
He walks backwards?
Well, just, a couple steps, just a couple steps, and then turns around and goes off about his business. Sorry.
He moonwalks away.
He just moonwalks. In the background, you hear, beat it.
Must be a religious thing.
Before he goes, he does a pelvic thrust.
All right.
Jamal!
I would like to see, since he's here, I'd like to check his trunk. See if there's any trace that there might have been a little girl in it recently.
Well,
Yeah,
the
what
only
car?
problem with it
What
is you
car is he in?
scared him off.
What car?
I
is he
didn't.
in?
He has a green,
Oh, I
like,
thought he was the White Ford Taurus.
I don't know if there's a new model number to it, but a Bug. You know, a
Yeah.
Volkswagen Bug, but the newer models.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Isn't he supposed to be at the church?
It's
Well-
the car's driving down the road backwards.
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be at the church?
Not yet.
Ah,
He's too busy moonwalking his car.
Well, I can't think of anything else to look at here.
Me neither, actually. Right now, I've got my mind set on that Pearl woman.
So,
so
all right, we're going to go just a few minutes over because I just want to get through with the section of what we're going to do. So let's skip to where is the next group going?
We were going to go talk with the church people.
All right, so
Yeah, I think it's a good idea just before the meeting to kind of get to the house and talk to the husband stroke wife, but because the husband's out, we can maybe have a chat with the wife before the meeting.
yeah, you guys get there, no problem. You know, cars are pulling up, and she is wandering about the yard, and she's still in tears. She's got her cell phone clutched to her hand, and when she sees you, she runs up to you. Have you found anything about my baby?
We're working on it, ma'am. I promise we're doing the best we can.
I don't know why you want a meeting with the church people. The church people are such good people. You'll see. Come on in and meet them. She takes you
Okay.
over there to the church, and she opens up the doors, and she comes into the congregation. I'll turn around and look behind them at you guys, and they look like a normal bunch of people with a few exceptions. I mean, they're more younger people. There's not as many old people.
Mhm.
There are a few people there who definitely stand out, though. They're like skinheads.
Hmm.
They definitely stand out. But everybody else is dressed, like business people and, just normal day people. And she said, the floor is yours.
All right, so I take the stand behind the pulpit, and I'm like, well, we were hoping maybe we could pool the resources of the Church of the Passover Angel to help us get some more information. We are looking for, I give a little bit of a description of the car we're looking for. I explain we are still trying to find this suspect, and we are not sure who the suspect is yet.
The congregation's all whispering amongst themselves.
We were wondering if either anyone in the church has seen someone of this description or a car of this description, or if they were possibly in the big box store at the time of the incident and has anything they might be able to share with us.
You spend a lot of time going through different people and that stuff, and none of them were at the box store at the time this happened. None of them saw a tan Taurus. By the way, for those looking in the parking lot, no one is driving a tan Taurus. There tends to be a lot of pickup trucks. They don't know anybody who would have a reason to kidnap a 5-year-old sickly girl.
We asked, do any of them know the suspects at all? Anyone know the guy personally?
They've never heard of his name.
I kind of checked the skinheads out.
I'm
do they
kinda-
look like kind of the militia type?
Yeah, they're definitely skinheads. There's no doubt about it. Big swastikas on their arms and stuff like that. They stand out.
Okay, I maybe have a kind of quieter words. Maybe while Anne's doing her talk, I have a quieter word with the wife and ask about the skinheads and are they been regular members for a long time and do you know them well, etc.
She explains that they're regular members, that they're good, wholesome people. They might dress a little differently, look a little differently, but all are accepted in the eyes of God.
Okay. Can I do a psychology to see if she really
Sure.
believes that?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a hard no, that's a pass.
She appears to be genuinely to you that she thinks these people are the soul of the earth. That they're good people. They just dress a little differently. You know, that she knows that they look funny, and she knows that they have a reputation, but they're kind-hearted people.
Sure, as long as you're not black.
Or gay or Jewish or anything like that, which you don't notice any blacks in the congregation, any people of brown color. They're all very white, full, blooded white people. I mean, it's very, think about a typical Southern church.
Yeah,
They are the only ones there that give off that impression, though. The rest of them are very clean cut, not necessarily suit and ties for this kind of event, but they're well-dressed, polo shirts, that kind of thing. They look, fine. I mean, the oldest guy there, you'd say maybe he's 50. I mean, like I said, it's a younger crowd. In my church, it's all old people. This is the opposite of that. I mean, in this church, they're all younger, middle-aged type people. Lots of yuppie-looking people in here.
I wonder if the wife knows anything about the investigation that was conducted on her church in the past. Can I maybe take her aside and ask if she knows anything about that?
The ATF has always been trying to get on us and think that, we're something we're not. They've investigated us and they can't find any evidence. We are innocent of all charges. We don't have any illegal arms. Everything we have is registered and legitimate. There's nothing more to tell. I mean, the ATF have been on us from day one. We're just a simple Christian church. Me and my husband, we don't pilfer the church's money. We don't live extravagantly. We don't do drugs. There's no scandal in our church whatsoever.
Nothing occult?
No one's having any affairs on their wives or anything like that. A cult. What is a cult?
Oh, I was just wondering. I mean,
yeah, I may try and back her up a bit there, and people with strange beliefs are more than just the normal kind of beliefs of your good, upstanding citizens. Strange
out of character.
practices.
Out of character, Anne is much better at intimidating than charming people.
Well, if you want to intimidate her.
Well, I'm not going to intimidate her. It's just she's kind of socially awkward, so it's one of those cases where she needs the backup.
You see nothing outside of said skinheads that look out of place in any typical small Southern church. Everything is legit. They got the nice little pews with soft cushiony seats for your butt. They got hymnals. They got prayer cards. They got an offering plate. They got a little choir area where the choir sings. It's very down to earth. Just looks like a small church.
All right, well. Can I ask what she plans to do involving the Armageddon event? Where will they go? What will they do?
Those of the believers will be safe from God's wrath, and God will strike down mightily his wrath upon the unbelievers.
All right. Very well.
So
Would
get
it be a
right
good
with God.
idea-
Yes, of course. Amen.
I just speak to Anne about, would it be a good idea to try and make these people feel involved by doing some kind of possible search party
That might actually
out
help.
about there,
Yeah, that might actually
So
help.
we maybe make that as part of the kind of public announcement.
Mhm.
You guys, we know you're caring people, you're a great fellowship, and we want to, you guys to band together and help us find do everything that we can to find this girl. So we ask if they want to help in that way, and just kind of recruit anyone that wants to go out and about. We got the information on the car, for example. We give them that, and the description of the suspect and things.
Okay, well, they all offer to help, and there's a bunch of women in the back. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. He goes, get right with God. All that kind of typical stuff that you'd see in like a little Pentecostal church or something. They're very animated and very vocal and.
Well, let's shout amen and let's pray for the success of this search.
Yes, of course. And if they are going if they're going to do that,
they have a prayer vigil. They sit there and they all hold hands and they pray to God, and and it's like, may God return our baby, strike dead those who have stolen her from us.
As they have that time of prayer, towards the end of the gathering, I'm checking out these skinheads. Are they?
Oh, they're full into it.
Praying, right?
They're full into it.
Okay, well, maybe at the end, as folk are milling about, I make a beeline to go and chat to the guys, because they look like, strong, able men that could maybe help us in the search. And I just try and put on the charm, try and chat to them, and maybe do a psychology or work out where they're coming from.
Well, they're pretty straightforward. The leader of the little group, there's about 5 skinheads in total. And the little leader of the group is, his name is Johnny Zero. And, he just explains that, they fell in with this church and, they're getting right with God, and, and all they care about is the return of the little girl. And they'll do whatever they can to help.
Did they seem
sincere?
They
seem very sincere. They seem very sincere.
So maybe they're trying.
You want to make a psychology roll?
Sure.
I'll also make a psychology roll.
Passed. Regular pass.
Which I do as well.
They seem very sincere. They're not keeping anything back. They're a little quieter than you're expecting. You're expecting skinhead to be rough and gruff, and they are not. But they seem to be very devout people, and they mean what they say.
So they're probably trying to repent for being skinheads, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you this without knowing, without making any rolls. They're a small southern church. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more white militia people among them. That's just the way it rolls. I hate to say that. I don't like racism as a person, but in this community, there's small, I don't want to say inbred, a small interconnected group of people. So finding skinheads there is not really a big surprise.
Yeah.
It does not interfere with their religion whatsoever.
True.
Well, I'm stuck. I don't see anything else happening out of this.
I can't see anything else happening out of this, but it might be interesting to possibly, and I'm saying this not so that like anyone can hear, I'm speaking this just to Ryan. It might be possible. That letter did say the Bryant that these people were dangerous. If that's the case, maybe we should have them stake out one of some other people stake out one of the church services.
You also, by the way, get a list of every member's name. You get a list of every member in the church's name.
Cool.
So next week we have that to go through. We have your search for the Ford Taurus with the police record on who would own one, and you've got this credit card which you're going to be investigating. So that's what we've got planned for next week. So if you guys can remember that's what you guys were planning on doing.
Okay.
And I think we'll call it here, Tom.
Okay. All right, then. Our players included Jeff Beck, Genevieve Coulter, Seth Skorkowski, Ken Trench, and myself, with Jerry Bryant as the Keeper of the Secrets. Our musical intro, Darkness is Coming, was written by Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution license. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. Patrons of our show can now enjoy recordings of our pre- and post-game conversations. Some of the funniest and most interesting stuff occurs before and after the show. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month will help us out a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We love hearing from you. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.